I think it is just really, really helpful for some of us to be able to see this in action. We're going to spend some time with the soul stories of Mary Kay Ash in order to make the practices that we've been working through, feel a little bit more real by overlaying them on individuals that have, had a degree of public profile, so that we can, maybe learn a little bit more about certainly their achievements, and maybe to a little bit lesser degree their attributes, who they were, their unique soul style. So for right now, I'm using just their soul story and deconstructing it and reconstructing it around their personal pyramid. So Mary Kay, there's a little bit back about her public record, and I found her story to be very, very compelling as it related to her personal pyramid. So her first peak pivot year was 28. Her second was around the age of 37. Her third was around the age of 46, and her last was around the age of 55. Her first theme was an 8, which is the theme of independence. And if you look back on her soul story, right, her public record story, you can see that she was a single mom working very, very hard while her husband was serving in the Second World War, and they divorced in 1945. And so that was just after 27. Just after turning 27, she divorced her first husband. And isn't that interesting that around the age of 28, remember what I said, that, she may have started to feel this theme coming to the surface between 18 months to 2 years in advance of 28, so between 26, and she might have continued to feel the ripple effect of this particular theme right up until she was 30. But the theme was independence, right? The prevailing force or power of this period was really tapping into her own personal power and activating a new level of artistic or commercial independence. And isn't that true, right? So she went on afterwards to work for Stanley Home Products. She did very well there. She went on from there, and that coincided with her third peak pivot year at 46, when she retired from Stanley Home Products around the age of 45, and proceeded to build out her plan for Mary Kay Cosmetics. So I find these two themes to be incredibly compelling for the validity and the credibility of the personal pyramid. And I don't say that just because of Mary Kay's. I've found it in my own, but I thoroughly enjoy finding examples that are this clearly linked, especially with the personal pyramid. And then she had a third theme of sharing what she learned. And I think she started to do that when she wrote her first book and became the business plan for Mary Kay Cosmetics. But she did go on and into her late 50s and 60s became a prolific writer about women and business and books. And as I understand it, she remained an active part of her, quote, humanitarian business, right? So remember, her core number was a 9, which was ambitious humanitarians. The themes and the layers of insight, simple insights, but the layers of insight really do ladder up to reinforcing what we may know about Mary Kay and about Amelia Earhart. So as I bring this series in for a close, and I ask the question one more time, did they find their way? I love doing these soul stories because it always reinforces for me that yes, indeed they did. I genuinely believe that both of these ladies found their way through their own unique soul style, and they weren't even aware of it. Right? I don't rule out the notion that they were aware of numerology and astrology at the time that they lived on planet Earth. But what I find so curious is that they found their way without knowing. So my question to you, how much more will you be able to align your contribution, your creativity, your experience of the human journey, the Life 360, by understanding more of your unique soul style. How much more is available to us when we find those strange jewels that have been buried within each one of us? How much more is available to us? If you are finding yourself in a place where you'd like to be around other people who are talking about this kind of stuff, or you would like to get more, maybe some more intuitive insight from me on what you're finding in your numbers, reach out to me at my website, where you will find fast track guides and time bender series that break down your core number, your birth chart, your arrows, and your personal pyramids to find your peak pivot years.